Hi, today our topic is Intrathecal Ziconotide, 15 years of successful long-term management in chronic post-amputation pain. Imagine treating a patient with devastating neuropathic pain who has become dependent on high-dose opioids, cannot tolerate a prosthesis, relies on a wheelchair, and has exhausted nearly every available therapy. Now imagine that same patient, 15 years later, walking independently, completely off opioids, working as a healthcare professional, and maintaining excellent quality of life. That is exactly what today's remarkable case demonstrates. Welcome to the Dr. MEK Explainer series, where we review the latest evidence and clinically relevant publications to help medical professionals translate research into better patient care. A brief disclaimer: this presentation is intended solely for educational purposes and should never replace individualized clinical judgment, institutional protocols, or specialist consultation. This recently published case report describes a young woman with severe chronic post-amputation residual limb pain that persisted despite antidepressants, anticonvulsants, multiple opioids, and comprehensive pain management. Her pain was predominantly neuropathic, with marked hyperalgesia and allodynia, severely limiting mobility and daily function. Because of refractory pain and escalating opioid dependence, the treating team selected intrathecal ziconotide. Unlike opioids, ziconotide is a non-opioid analgesic derived from the marine cone snail Conus magus. It produces analgesia by selectively blocking N-type voltage-gated calcium channels within the dorsal horn of the spinal cord, thereby reducing neurotransmitter release involved in pain transmission. Treatment began cautiously with 1 microgram per day, followed by slow dose escalation. Within approximately 2 months, at around 6.2 micrograms daily, the patient experienced substantial pain relief, dramatic reduction in hyperalgesia, and progressive discontinuation of opioid therapy. Mild headache and vertigo occurred after a dose increase, but resolved promptly after dose reduction, highlighting the importance of careful titration. The most impressive aspect of this report is the 15-year follow-up. The patient maintained stable pain control with a visual analog scale score of only 2 to 3, required no opioid therapy, achieved an ECOG performance status of 0, improved her Karnofsky score from 70 to 90, regained independent ambulation with an orthosis, completed her education, and eventually returned to work as a clinical assistant. Few chronic pain interventions have demonstrated such prolonged functional success in published literature. For anesthesiologists, pain physicians, intensivists, and neurosurgical teams, several clinical lessons deserve emphasis. First, patient selection is critical. Intrathecal therapy should be reserved for carefully evaluated patients with severe refractory chronic pain after failure of conventional therapies. Second, start low and titrate slowly. Careful dose escalation appears to improve tolerability while minimizing neurological adverse effects. Third, treatment success should be measured not only by pain scores, but also by functional recovery, opioid reduction, quality of life, and patient independence. Finally, this report reinforces the growing role of non-opioid intrathecal analgesia as modern pain medicine continues moving toward opioid-sparing strategies. The authors conclude that intrathecal ziconotide may represent a valuable option for selected patients with uncontrollable neuropathic residual limb pain, although larger long-term studies remain necessary. In summary, this extraordinary 15-year experience demonstrates that carefully titrated intrathecal ziconotide can provide durable analgesia, sustained opioid independence, excellent functional recovery, and favorable long-term safety in appropriately selected patients. You are watching to the Dr. MEK Explainer series. Thanks for the watching. Remember, in modern pain medicine, our greatest achievement is not simply reducing pain, it is restoring function, dignity, independence, and quality of life through evidence-based, patient-centered care.